You know, so she killing me, stealing me. I give her love because you're feeling the artillery. Late night, she can get me out of memory. She want the cause, I'm the person for delivery. With me, I to the sport, yeah. I be if now you no go wanna enjoy, yeah. So she get waiting, I need, I know they loiter. I go lighter, put some carrots in the cloister. When I wife, I share you understand. What you wanna do, I know it all I can. Be like, yeah, I wish carry rubber band. Your contraband, they work me past job, man. Otishe, man, they pass caro. I feel you know, no, she, they go loco. When she hit the jackpot like a lotto. You know, say me, I know they joke. If anything, I hope say you know so. And that's the thing, you don't say she, they killing me, so. Today, I just say she the finish work. God bless the day you come and give me job. As someone like you, I don't need you to listen up. You know say she the killing me, so. Don't be today, I just say she the finish work. God bless the day you come and give me job. As someone like you, I don't need you to listen.
Whatever, you know what time I need. To see. It's been a minute, but thank you for choosing me. You know how we do, we always gonna keep it G. When it began and I jab, you know how it's gonna be. Everything be complete. Okay, back to the song. Okay, I forget it, even if I did you wrong. And I sing, come and drop and sing along. Just in case you don't wonder how my coma is strong. Grab your phone on my phone, pull up, killing me soft. Yeah, I like the way you give me the twinning in love. Now we keep my man in the corner, I'm feeling rough. Grab it, I'm in China, come across and say I keep feeling ball. Show me be kissing me more. We don't go carry last. I'm in family, don't know goose, so say corridors. When you woman to Charlie, make you marry fast. Check me wedding, I will pay me, let me spend the cash. Let's shut up and that.
You don't say she they killing me, so. Don't today, I just say she the finish work. God bless the day you come and give me job. As someone like you, I don't need you to listen up. You don't say she they killing me, so. Today, I just say she the finish work. God bless the day you could come and give me job. As someone like you, I don't need you to listen up. You know say, kill me Sophia, baby Sophia.
No problem.
You know say, kill me Sophia, baby Sophia.
You never come walk, so don't take your time on me. She had a boy like me before. She says I take her body on the toe. She knows that I'm still that nigga chilling on the block. I'm still that nigga chilling on the block. She said there's nothing she will do for me. She there for me. 24/7, 2 for free. 2 for free. She said, oh, like a woman. Oh, the mentality, I'm still ever be one. So she's usually mad at me. I'm getting love from these groupies, I know. But you're the only one. You're the only one. You're the only one. They envy us, they envy us, they see us, me and you. They envy us, they see us, me and you.
Just go out, roll it with my boat, they gon' say now. I know that you're colder than me, know that you're colder than me. See that body don't sleep. Always on my mind, what you do to me. Baby, put your body over me. I'm making it scream. Coming on me all night. Mash up the thing, me no in on a shy guy. With the thing, oh, I rap on pop off, me no in on a dry guy. They envy us, they envy us. Them girl want you. They envy us, but them I got be a number 2. He said there's nothing he won't do for me. He's been for me 24/7. He holy, sir. You're the girl, show them my family. Even though you're older, I know you're gonna be. We get love from them groupies, I know. You're the only one.
You're the only one. You're the only one. They envy us, they see us, me and you. They envy us, they see us, me and you.
She said that she got tips on you, and she be hanging with the crew.
She's talking shit, yeah, I see her in the dance with the gang, but she was just another girl in the room.
Just know I got my eyes on you, so you could've never take me for fool.
You see right now, moving like a dance say no fool, she want me. She won't never tell the truth.
Yeah, yeah. Pull up in the automobile with black wheels. Red on my feet like somebody blood spill. My swag dangerous, my swag kills. They can't hang with us, they ain't real. Me, I'm the thing with them one. Get them, get down. Them in the house, get in the belly. But they done off the scum. Them never ready when they done all I want. Them blue like murder. Kill everything.
I wanna touch you on this line. Gonna turn you upside down. Just like the style 69. Did you turning up the sound? Cause pretty girls wanna watch. Shut it done, but me, I turn it up. Boom, shaka tap, we not messing around. Them try shut it done, but me, I turn it up. Boom, shaka tap, we not messing around. On the dance floor, bad girls, they wanna get low. Flat on the dance floor, baby. Boys, they wanna spend low. Flat on the dance floor, bad girls, they wanna get low. Flat on the dance floor, baby. Boys, they wanna spend low, yeah, yeah. Big boys, they wanna spend low, yeah, yeah. And the bad girls, they wanna get low, yeah. As I jump in the center, some boy wanna buy me a Lizzie. Take a look on your table, crystal and the sea and some rosé. I'm not the type of party girl who falls for the door and sleeps around. DJ turning up the sound, cause pretty girls wanna watch. Shut it done, but me, I turn it up. Boom, shaka tap, we not messing around. Them try shut it done, but me, I turn it up. Boom, shaka tap, we not messing around. On the dance floor, bad girls, they wanna get low. Flat on the dance floor, baby. Boys, they wanna spend low. Flat on the dance floor, bad girls, they wanna get low. Flat on the dance floor, baby. Boys, they wanna spend low, yeah, yeah. Big boys, they wanna spend low, yeah, yeah. And the bad girls, they wanna get low. Up in the club, man, flip up your lighters. They don't do it like me. All these petty boys won't put me off, mash up the place like I'm living my dream. Boy, what you want? You not the boy, why you front? You can't hold boy when I drop. Spin bells, shock up your seatbelt. I've got no equals, you lost it, you so gone. Fuck, that's the best for. Your girl won't be like me. She wish she was happening. I go hard, what you have for me? You gonna spill. Your girl won't be like me. She wish she was happening. I go hard, what you have for me? You gonna spill. Flat on the dance floor. Bad girls, they wanna get low. Flat on the dance floor, baby. Big boys, they wanna get low. Flat on the dance floor, bad girls, they wanna get low. Flat on the dance floor, baby. Big boys, they wanna get low. Big boys, they wanna get low. And the bad girls, they wanna get low. Big boys, they wanna get low.
One more dance with my lover. One last chance with my lover.
DJ High Handsome.
What do you go say on my time? I just want one dance with my lover. Say will you dance with me, my baby, oh. Ride with me, my baby, oh. Just one light with me, my baby, oh. Want my baby, oh. Yeah.
So would you love like a lover, treat you like a lover. What you want, baby, I do. When you are around, I lose my cool. Sweet love, I give you my heart. Sweet love, one they call me my pharaoh. I'm with you today, tomorrow and forever. I'm with you, my love. Make I leave you, baby, never. You be my Ferrari alone, yeah. Would you be my two-one shinkafa? Tell me I'm cool.
One more dance with my lover.
One more dance for my lover.
One last chance with my lover.
One last chance for my lover.
What do you go say on my time?
Yeah.
I
I just want one dance with my lover.
One dance for my lover.
Say will you dance with me, my baby, oh. Ride with me, my baby, oh. Just one light with me, my baby, oh. Want my baby, oh.
We go dance, we go bubble, baby, oh. Don't worry, baby, oh. Me, I go be your lady, oh. You want it, come in my friend, stuck up on somebody, oh. I need oh, baby. So make we don't wait for tomorrow. This I love no be come and go. Would you be my full ride and no? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Would you be my two-one shinkafa?
Love you, baby, oh. Yeah.
Would you be my two-one shinkafa?
One more dance with my lover.
Yeah.
One last chance with my lover. What you go say on my tenor?
Yeah.
I just want one dance with my lover.
I just want one dance for my lover.
Say dance with me, my baby, oh. Ride with me, my baby, oh. Just one light with me, my baby, oh. Want my baby, oh. Who say money like banana? When I get rich, I you go to Bahamas. Yeah, I promise I'm a honor. Say no girl, gonna come and take your corner. My sweetie jolly, oh, I go make it up to you. Yeah, you alone go be mine. Yeah, everything go be jet. Me die, this a practice. Sama mi onana, intimate and me a say Hosanna. Me know this a Michelle Obama. That bad. I be your umbrella, make I be your umbrella, eh. Oh my baby, oh. I be your umbrella, make I be your umbrella, eh. Oh my baby, I be your umbrella, make I be your umbrella, eh. Oh my baby, oh. I be your umbrella, make I be your umbrella, eh. Oh my baby, make I be your umbrella. Win your heart like Mandela. Full security from a mandema. Burn a boy be my mandema. Girl, if you see you know the problem. Me and you gonna go eh. My love declare yeah. Like they will cook for to play yeah. Remember one day, me and you go to tie the knot day. That day go be a happy day. Honeymoon come 28. Yo, eat, you know this is Michelle Obama. I'll be your umbrella, make a be your fresh on the beat. Guess what's called?
Damn.
DJ High
Publish the matter for your sake. You making my misbehave. And if not fire for fire, indicate. Cause me I don't know I can. Feel love me now. I said I know me now. That was a fucking mistake. What up, Carolina? That one I told you. Child, so me I know do again. What you talk about? Maybe you're always on my mind, and I think about you all the time. Baby, true love is hard to find. Makes me want to verify. Baby, you're always on my mind, thinking about you all the time. Baby, true love is hard to find.
DJ High
I go fire bazooka for your sake. Bazooka.
DJ High
Cause me I know come to play. I see cool and speed up for your waist. Oh baby, do you feel the bass? They said he know me now. I said I know me now. That was a fucking mistake. What up, Carolina? Not one I know, child. So me I know do again.
Starr Radio UK. This is Starr Radio. This is Starr Radio UK.
In your car,
at work,
at home,
on your smartphone.
Check me out.
He tells me my energy is making him tired.
Yes!
How do you get the energy to do
I've been told that I have a lot of energy, but my goodness, I think today I have met my match, people. I have met my match, Miss Suzanne. Wow, amazing.
One of the things that's the start of the darkness. The whole of darkness.
So what did that?
Myself and the world will adjust. And 2019.
Forget the proverbial boardroom. Join me, Simone Frazier, on the CEO, the program that gives you the driving seat over your life. Every Tuesday, 8 p.m. only on Starr Radio.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Good evening and welcome to another episode of The CEO, the program where we are consciously empowering ourselves. Tonight's guests are many. Unlike our normal one CEO, we have a triple threat for you tonight. Okay, so we literally have 3 CEOs in the chair, all the way from beautiful, sunny Jamaica. Yes, I hear you all out there, your Facebookers, your YouTubers. I hear you all saying, yeah, man. Absolutely, why not? Why not? Now, literally, I came across these individuals over the weekend and I said, oh my goodness, I have to have you on our program before you go back to the sunny islands of Jamaica. And, you know, I tell you why. Simply because I saw CEO lifestyle in action. And by that, I mean from a very beautiful young student, literally exemplifying what it is to be a young female lioness, really leading by example as a student in Jamaica. And then we were fortunate enough, and this is at the Jet UK Gala Awards. That's Jet UK standing for Jamaica Education Task Force Awards. That was held this weekend at the Millennium Gloucester Hotel in Kensington. We were really able to see education at its best. And I myself was very much taken aback when I saw the exemplary leadership from the teachers themselves of Jamaica. So without further ado, this is the moment that you've all been waiting for. Let me introduce you to our wonderful teachers. We've got 2 representatives tonight, Mrs. Audrey Ellington and Mrs. Nicole Jackson. Ladies, hello. Welcome to the CEO.
Hello, we're happy to be here.
Hello.
Okay.
Thank you.
Let me get you all in a little bit closer. I'll just stay, that's it, stay there. That's perfect. Now I can see you all. I mean, literally on Saturday, as I mentioned, we were blown away. The audience here in the UK, we've never seen and heard such stories whereby you've got teachers doing so much with, I guess, in comparison to what we have, so little. Tell me a little bit about, number one, introduce yourself to the people at home or all over the world. We're broadcasting live, by the way, in the UK, all over Ireland, EU countries, and also Africa and the Caribbean. So you can also give a salute to the family and friends back home. So tell us, introduce yourself from the left to the right, and tell us a little bit about why you were here for this weekend's ceremony or gala event, and what awards you won respectively.
Okay, good evening. My name is Audrey Ellington, and I'm the principal of Newell High School in St. Elizabeth.
Wonderful.
It is an upgraded high school, and what I mean by that, it is not one of the traditional high schools that you will find in Jamaica. It is Next year it will just be about 50 years old. We get students with average grades coming in, but these are students whom we work with, and we get them to be enthused in a number of the subjects that they do. Now the JET UK, through Mr. Seymour Mattis, he made consultation with us, and we agreed to host the creative workshop that he would have had, which deals with STEM. And because
just explain what STEM is for everyone.
Science, technology, engineering, and mathematics.
Wonderful.
So it's more of a hands-on approach as to what students would do at this age. So they will get some items that are found in everyday society, and they will make something from it that is substantial to everyday affairs. Now what that entails is that he would have had programs in the primary schools, and then ours was supposed to be the high school category. However, on that we had a unique situation this year, and that is how we got to be awarded, because we became the first mentoring school. And what I mean by that was that the students who came to us instead of the high school from Black River, fortunately or unfortunately, and we will say fortunately this time, were that the prep school and the primary school students came over on the day to be with us. When we saw the little eyes and we saw the enthusiasm with them, we could not turn them back.
You can never turn children away.
Not.
Wonderful.
And so the head of department for science quickly thought, let us have them work with our team. And of course that is why we have our head girl with us today, who rallied around with the group and had them engaged for the entire day, and it became a beautiful day. The students were enthused in what they did. They got some straws and tapes and other things. Lucretia can speak about that. And they made what they had to make, and they were very enthused about the outcome of that project.
Wonderful.
And so we were invited by the JET UK to be awarded for mentoring and for the teacher involvement and student involvement in the program. We're happy to be here.
Wonderful. We're happy to have you.
Thank you.
Now let me move on to you, Nicole. Just explain again, just introduce yourself.
Okay, Nicole Jackson, Balaclava Primary in St. Elizabeth in Westmoreland. And our school was awarded the award for citizenship because this is actually our second year hosting the JET UK Creative Futures Workshop. And it's really been a pleasure for us to work with Mr. Seymour Mattis. We are a primary school that is in what I would consider impoverished section of Jamaica. It's rural, and the parents, or the homes from the parents as well as the homes from which our students come, are actually not, most of them are single parents who do not work. So our population right now is 350. If you are familiar with cane belt areas, you know that we experience things like attendance issues, as well as...
What do you mean cane belt?
Cane belt meaning sugar cane production areas. So sometimes you inherit from that attendance issues. Just to give you some background as to who we are. We met Mr. Mattis in 2017, and he started the Creative Futures with us and 5 Spend Primary. And that workshop was very well welcomed, in the sense that, as Miss Ellington just pointed out, it was a practical thing. The students actually built a bridge the first time. They were allowed to measure it and use straws to build it. And when we saw the success of the first 2 years, it was done with our grade 5 and our grade 6 students. And I mentioned our historical background with the cane belt to get you to understand that these students don't have the kind of resources that we would want and accessible to many. And for them to actually be given a day when they can actually interact with those resources that we would have loved to have in our schools.
It's like Christmas come early, right?
It was like Christmas come early. And it wasn't just Christmas coming early to them. Now it is that everything that we were trying in the past to implement and to make it practical and real to them came to life for them.
Absolutely.
So it was such a tremendous success for us. It was so excellent. The students were motivated. Mathematics, science, technology, and engineering came to life for these students. That when Mr. Mattis told us he was going to return April of this year, 2019, we were very happy that he said, why not invite as many schools as you could invite from the neighboring areas within St. Elizabeth, because we're in Northeast St. Elizabeth. And so we were able to not only host 5 SPEN, but we extended it and were able to host 8 schools, grade 5 students. And then we were able to also host the teachers from those schools. So it was extended now to have a professional development session for teachers, as well as a session now for the students themselves. So it has been a wonderful experience. For teachers, to be honest with you, I was between sessions with the students as well as with the teachers.
Yeah.
And one of the things we were saying to Jackie, could you leave that ball with us? The sessions were so practical.
Yeah.
And she brought in resources that we had not, well, the first time we would have seen them would have been on the internet, to be honest with you.
Yes.
And
wow.
And to access these things is not something that we have every day. We have to create the resources from scratch, from resources in Jamaica.
So let me just say then, so literally then, this took a lot of imagination prior to the visit from Jet UK.
Right.
You know, I'm speaking to both of you now. Okay, we can see both of you now eventually. Thank you. So literally, this took a lot of imagination. So for the children, even for them to have performed, you know, prior to the actual resources, that in itself was a tall order. You know, but they were delivering.
Yes, it was. Because what you have to do, our students are not sometimes aware that other persons would come in to work with them.
Yeah.
So most of the time they're by themselves. So
Yeah.
when we get an opportunity to expose them,
of course,
to other things, we are always happy to do that. So what we do, we try as best as possible to select the best team.
Yes.
And
yes.
sometimes the best team doesn't necessarily mean the persons who are brightest, but persons who you see have the potential and you want them to work.
To have that experience.
So they can get the experience. And that was one of the things that we did.
Amazing. So tell me, I mean, I'm listening to all of this and it sounds like crazy that in 2019 going into 2020 that such basic resources, certainly what every school over here takes for granted. I mean, this is just basic standard resources, you know. If anything, we have it in abundance. I mean, tell me about it, because I know that you visited some other schools even today and you've been able to gain an insight into the classrooms, the equipments on this side of the Atlantic. What were your views about that? What you saw that was available, the resources?
For me, at the high school, one of the issues we have is space issue. Classroom spacing.
Yes.
And what we saw here with 20 students in a class, 25 students in a class.
Yes.
In Jamaica, typically 38, 40 students to one teacher.
Right.
When
can you just say that
there,
again?
38 to 40.
38.
And there are other schools that may have up to 45.
Right.
Per classroom.
Per class. With
and one
teacher.
Oh my goodness.
And we see here where you have teacher assistants.
Oh yes.
Giving individual attention to students. And another thing is the inclusiveness that we see here.
Yes.
We have our students back home and they're all in the classroom with everybody. So at times they're left behind because the teachers just cannot manage when every student is there and need that attention, because teachers are given like 40 minutes per session. Wow. How much can be accomplished? But I must say that the teachers in Jamaica
are doing a stellar job
over time.
Of course.
Over time, because you will, from my school, Newell High School in St. Elizabeth, we can get students with at 20% coming in, starting, and we're able to take them to CXC level.
And just for the British people over here, what is CXC level?
CXC
What is the equivalent?
External National Examination, which
Board?
is similar to the GCSE
GCSEs
that you do.
Right.
That you do.
So this is equivalent to GCSEs levels,
Yes.
everyone. So you're saying that people come in at a very basic entry level, and yet even in a classroom size that's oversubscribed with 40 students even at times, you're still able to take them through. Your teachers are still able to take them through. That is absolutely phenomenal.
Our teachers work overtime, I must say.
I must say, I heard even of a story, not a story, it's a real life situation. There was another teacher, is it Keisha something or whatever? Yeah, Keisha Hale,
with
right?
her school, Padmore.
With Padmore School. And apparently that was a failing school.
It was labelled as
a failing school.
How many students she had?
Oh, 2,000.
38.
Yeah.
She had 38 students. They were about to close it.
Yes.
And Keisha really rallied. Keisha sold her house, bought a bus to transport the students.
My goodness.
And now she has over 200 students, and she's doing excellently
wow.
at her school.
Wow.
She's doing and she was awarded. Unfortunately, she was not able to be here this afternoon.
Yes.
But she was awarded the second time around because her school is doing so well.
And this is the thing. What is the mindset that's needed for teachers such as yourself to somehow, despite the odds, to still shine that light of ingenuity, of the essence and the importance of education, you know? And I might add, with little or no financial rewards. What's the mindset that's needed?
Simply, it can be done, it must be done, it will be done, and it has to be done. We will get to work before 7 o'clock. Some of at the primary level, these children come to you, they're not reading. Sometimes they don't have a uniform, they didn't get breakfast, they didn't get a bath, their hair was not combed. Some of them may not have slept last night because they were sleeping on the road. They have no parental stimulation at all. So at the primary level, we get in from like 7:15, and one of the things we do is
7:15 in the morning.
7:15 in the morning. Some of us get in before that time. Some teachers start reading early in the morning, and they start interventions in the morning, and teachers are there up to 5 p.m. doing interventions with students.
Do you get paid overtime?
We do not get paid overtime. And one of the things we do as teachers in Jamaica is that we love them. We love our students, we love what we do, and we consider it a calling. For us as teachers, it's not about the pay, it's not about our resources. Yes, we would love to have better resources. Yes, we would love to get or receive a better pay. But we really do it because we believe that when we are able to save one child, or we see one child move from this point to a better place in life, it makes us so happy. There's no bigger joy to us in Jamaica than to see one of our students get a government scholarship to their school of first choice, or even become somebody great in life.
Do you know, I literally want to well up, whether it's journalism or not.
It's the truth.
I am just absolutely in awe. I am in awe. And you know, there has to be something said when you saw what you saw in the British schools.
Oh my God.
And I've got to say, whilst prior to meeting yourselves, I think it's a norm for everyone to say, oh goodness, the teachers are overworked here, they're underpaid and they're overworked, and these are civil civil workers, and doing a stellar job, and they're overpaid and they're underworked. What do you say to that?
Let me say that and I've always said it, because in Jamaica we have what is called, as I said before, traditional high schools, non-traditional high school. The traditional high school get the students performing at 80-90%, and then you have the others who at all times get less resources, and we make do with what we get. As Nicole has said, while we would want more pay, we do not use that to determine what we do for the children. Because the fulfillment for me and for my staff and for most of the teachers in Jamaica, I can say, It is when you look and you see a child who came in below average and has excelled, and they meet you, whether it's in the supermarket, in the airport,
And they
abroad,
say,
wherever.
"Thank
You don't remember them,
but they remember
what
you.
you said to them many years ago.
Wow.
And you say, wow, just like how you felt, it is the same way we feel.
So
it.
there's something to be said about the power of the tongue, isn't it?
Of course.
You can either be a dream killer or a dream maker. What do you say about that?
Dream
Dream
maker
maker.
all the
way.
It is always good to encourage that youngster. Let it be that you would have encouraged them. They don't take it at that moment, but they will remember 10 years.
Absolutely.
To say, Miss, you did say, Miss, you were the one who.
I think we all remember that, don't we? That special teacher.
Yes.
Who made that difference in your life.
Exactly.
Am I correct? Yes?
Exactly. You're right.
And there's always that teacher that stands out. And, we always, say, and certainly I believe that really your first teachers are those in the home.
Right. Yes.
And
true.
a lot of parents nowadays, they shudder their responsibilities. Some children actually don't have parents, to lean on. So there isn't that traditional organic family. Now it really is. And I really got this sense over the weekend that it's a village. It's that traditional old school village that it takes to raise these children up. These children up. What is the stance for if a teacher came from this country and then, looked at you and said, oh no, I have things really hard? What would you say to them? Nicole?
I tell them I understand, because to mold the modern generation and education wherever you are once you're dealing with people has its own challenges. So I would say to them that I understand. But having toured Buxton School, I would say to them that I think it's only fair to say that the possibilities for you are endless in what you do. I think it's only fair to say to them that you should appreciate more what you have here. I think it's only fair for us to say, having sit where we are, that your schools are well resourced, not to downplay whatever challenge they're having, but to say in our stance, it's well resourced, that you are, in my mind, a more comfortable position than we are in, and that the only real challenge is to approach it from a positive mindset, because everything is there for them to excel in a comfortable.
The tools are there.
In a comfortable setting.
The tools are there. The resources are there. The class sizes are, well, we see it as a lot, but clearly, even in comparison to yours, it's almost like golden. Yes,
it's a dream.
It's a dream.
It's a dream to us.
It's a dream.
It is a dream. It's
and
like
as well as that, they also have the support, because there's there's a classroom assistant. At certain ages throughout the school system here.
You have some classes had 3 or 4 assistants depending
that you
on
saw today.
That we saw depending on where they are at. Then you had the exceptional, those that we consider very challenged in Jamaica, having their own time and getting their one-on-one.
That
does not
mean
happen in
what
Jamaica.
Would that mean for you?
One-on-one in Jamaica, we're told that for these exceptional students, we're supposed to have 20 to 1 in a classroom.
Wow.
And that's what's considered one-on-one in Jamaica.
20 to 1 is our 1-to-1.
Is our 1-to-1.
Have you all heard this?
I primary level, and I'm not kidding you.
Wow.
I'm telling you the truth.
I mean, I don't know if we have the educational ministers listening here or anything like that, but let me tell you something that I really hope you all are listening. So the picture that I'm getting is,
because there's no one-on-one with students that need that kind of support in Jamaica. We don't have the resources to where we're told we don't have that to provide that one-on-one in a school setting. So a class that is supposed to meet the needs of students who are exceptional has a cap of 20
to
1 teacher.
Wow. And so
if I
Go
may,
ahead. Yeah,
you
sure.
asked the question, what would I say to them? I would say to them, take a trip to Jamaica.
Yes, ma'am.
A
That's
trip
so true.
to
Take a trip to
We
Jamaica.
will facilitate. We will facilitate you for a week.
So
we will host you for a week for you to get the experience that we have.
Yeah, I was just about to say how fascinating it would be just to have an exchange program. I would love to film BBC if you are watching, okay? I would love to see an exchange program whereby we swap, where we have you in our British schools for a month. And we have, similar teachers from here back home in Jamaica for a month and see how the two fare, you know.
Exactly.
Now, I want, so your hours also, your classroom hours are longer. That's a fact from what you're saying, you know, because some teachers will even work until 5 o'clock.
Yes.
Yeah. I can tell you, I kid you not, there's no teachers here that's working till 5 o'clock.
Administrators
Classroom
have to go
teachers.
further than that.
Yes, the
because
administrators go
when
longer.
school finishes, that's the time we get to do our administrative duties. So sometimes that catches us at school.
And we don't have...
And there's no overtime again.
No, and we don't have that many
There
assistant
is no overtime
principals.
at all.
Wow.
And the primary school is even worse than the high school because I have vice principal, I have bursars. The primary school, they have to do everything for themselves. The principal has to do everything.
Wow.
But before we go, I want to say thanks to...
Sorry to interject. We're not. Don't worry. You'll get to say your thanks. What would you then say? Because I'm feeling somewhat almost not enraged, but I feel as though I need to call on the government, the educational ministers of Jamaica, to actually put more into, you know, the resources in at least the basics. What do you say to them?
Well, let me just backtrack a bit. To the British counterparts, my colleagues in London that I met, I would say to them, appreciate what you have. To the Jamaican government, in particular the Minister of Education, I would say that we all know that there is more that needs to be done. Nobody is going to say that our education system does not need to be fixed. And so the understanding that there is the need for schools to be better resourced is out there.
Wow.
What I would say to us is when we are doing the budget, we need to prioritize to education more in our budget allocation.
100%.
Because it is the people of Jamaica that is going to be that is the driving force behind our country. And for us to move out of third world status that we are currently
100%.
in, and we've been in more than 100%, we need to invest in our people.
And in the future, which are our children.
Future, which are our children.
Yeah.
There is absolutely no way Jamaica's problem is going to be solved if we're not willing to make that sacrifice and do more for education.
Particularly crime.
Yes.
Let's put it this way. Crime informs, you know, and I don't even want to get too much into that because we're going to go to a break and then we're going to meet our wonderful student who's going to be a testament to everything that you've spoken about after the commercial break. So we're leaving her till after the commercial break. But specifically for crime, you know, and overseas, I guess, tourism. People are not coming to Jamaica in their droves as they should because of the crime stereotype that's attributed to the country. Okay. And the way, as you've just put it rightly so, is through education, through educating every child should matter from the smallest, no matter what class, what social background. Every single child should have a right to a basic education. Yes, and that's where I take very strongly with this issue. Anyway, you all know me. You know I'm the mother of the CEO here. You know there's a lioness in this chair, so you don't want to get me started. So we're going to go to a commercial break. After the commercial break, we'll be meeting a wonderful young lioness who is absolutely transforming the face of Jamaica's future. Join me after this break.
This is Starr Radio UK.
Check me out.
He tells me my energy is making him tired.
Yes!
How do you get the energy to do
I've been told that I have a lot of energy, but my goodness, I think today I have met my match, people. I have met my match, Miss Suzanne. Wow, amazing.
One of the things that's the start of the
Darkness.
whole of darkness.
So what did that?
Myself and the world will adjust. And 2019.
Forget the proverbial boardroom. Join me, Simone Frazier, on the CEO, the program that gives you the driving seat over your life. Every Tuesday, 8 p.m. only on Starr Radio.
Can't ball in a life, man. Go on with it, go on with it. Yo, easy. Are you kidding me? Toast. Yeah. So we are coming here with a force. Yeah. Blessings we are reap and we coursing on full. Oh, in a rise and boast. Yeah, we give thanks like we need it the most. We have to give thanks like we really supposed to be thankful. Blessings all for my life and my thank God for the journey, the earnings are just for the plus. Yeah. Gratitude is a must. Yeah, me see blessings fall by my right hand. But I toast for the friends who take off every load. One time did sit down in a class and we bored then only said the road and we go on with the road. Third form, me say me try a thing, and you know it formed up to be a fire thing. Now up on stage with chronic say I sing, yeah, see me all diggy soon get the higher ring like hello brother. Me say I had to shot ya, saw your poster, spectacular photo. Keep it burning, yes, that's the motto. If me the butter pass through your soul to can't ball in a life, man. Me have to thank God for the journey, the earnings are just for the plus. Yeah, and gratitude is a must. Yeah, me see blessings fall by my right hand. But I toast to the friends who take off every load. One time they sit down in a class and we bored then only said the road and we go on with it, go on with it. Just show our blessings upon me and send me to tell them a story. Just show our blessings upon me and that's how I mean to give him the glory. I'm delighted. Jah knows I'm passion ignited. Got the music get me excited. Coming like a potion. Blessings all for my life and my thank God for the journey, the earnings are just for the plus. Yeah, and gratitude is a must. Yeah, me see blessings fall by my right hand. But I toast for the friends who take off every load. One time did sit down in a class and we bored then only said the road and we go on with the road. Toast. Yeah. Toast. Oh, in a rise and boast. Yeah, we give thanks. We have to give thanks.
So welcome back to the CEO, wherever you are around the world, whether you're on Facebook, YouTube. This is the CEO, the program where we are consciously empowering ourselves. So we've forgotten the proverbial CEO in our chair tonight. We have three wonderful CEOs in their own right. And I can see you, Mohammed, I'm listening all the way from Gambia. Big up, Mohammed, as we would say, because we've got the Jamaican flavor in the studio tonight. So big up, Mohammed. Thank you for reaching out to us. So literally, this has been such an amazing conversation, literally, because we've got education represented at its best from Jamaica here tonight in the studios, and it's so important when you get to see a light being shone on the educational system. And no other better way than to hear it actually from the horse's mouth, so to speak. We've just heard from two, if you just joined us, we've just heard from two phenomenal teachers doing so much with so little. You know, they've literally seen the resources that we have here in England. And just to put you in the picture, from classroom sizes that we have of 30 children, their average class is anything from 37 to 40 kids per classroom. You know, they don't have teaching assistants. It's unheard of. Yes. And even when you have a special needs child, it's as opposed to having one-to-ones, their one-to-ones is 1 to 20. How about that? So If you thought you had it hard, Mr. Teacher over here, you got it really rosy, you got it really gravy, you got it really good. Okay, so I'm going to turn my attention now to a young lady. She's only 16 years of age. She actually got awarded this Saturday at Jet UK's gala event in Kensington. Her name is Miss Lakeisha. Lakeisha, do you want to introduce yourself, including your surname, my dear, to all the people listening all around the world?
Hello, my name is Lakeisha Taylor. I'm from Newell High School in Jamaica, St. Elizabeth.
Amazing. You wanna do your young salute, big ups to your people? Don't be shy now. That's amazing. Now, Lakeisha, do you want to tell everyone? I mean, I for one was completely bowled over when I, heard all the great work you yourself you're doing to represent the youths in Jamaica as well. Tell us a little bit about what was the name of the award that you received, and tell us a little bit about what that involved.
My award is in recognition of my leadership and mentoring.
Okay, amazing. And that was for what exactly?
The Jet UK had
they had a day,
had an event at my school, a workshop, which I participated in with other students, primary school students, and we were supposed to build a tower, which involved teamwork, and we built the tower, and our team was okay, and we were together, and it was quite fine.
Okay, good. So tell me, what for you when you saw Jet UK? We just heard from your teachers, and they were speaking about how under-resourced often the school is, and the classroom sizes are, I guess for you it's normal, but for us it's a lot, it's oversubscribed. Okay, what did you notice when you had all the resources that Jet UK brought, and be it science equipment, etc.? How did that make all the students feel?
Well, to my observation, the students really felt joy in seeing the resources that Jet UK had brought.
So what type of resources did you have that you wouldn't ordinarily have?
As in,
what resources did you have? What equipments or whatever did you have that you wouldn't normally have? What did they send over?
And glue guns we used to build this tower. Yeah.
So it was a lot of science equipment.
Yes.
And now, before having those, what would you have to do? Just imagine things, or
draw, design it.
So you had to really use your imagination before having the actual real live equipments right there in front of you.
Yes.
Wow. So this must have brought everything to life. Am I?
Yes, that's great.
Yes. All right. Now tell us a little bit, Lakeisha, about how does it feel being in a classroom with almost nearly 30 or nearly 40 other students? What is that on a day-to-day basis? What does that feel like?
Well, I would say overcrowded or overpopulated, because there is more students than teachers, and sometimes students don't understand what teacher is teaching, and the teacher doesn't have time to assist the students.
Wow. And so does that make students feel frustrated? Yes. Or what's the point in going to school? Or
very frustrated, and when this happens, students easily to give up in doing their work.
Right. So what's kept you going?
Well, I'm very good at understanding and reading actually, but just
you're self-motivated.
Just self-motivated.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And good parenting.
And good parenting.
Yeah, good parenting. But what about the others? You must know children that perhaps aren't blessed with parents at home.
It's just.
So for the children who don't have parents at home, what's you know, what advice would you even give then to the educational ministers in Jamaica? What more can they do to serve those children who aren't lucky to have parents as yourself?
Well, students, kids or children who doesn't have parents, they need to be motivated.
Yes.
And being told that they should not give up, because opportunities can come your way, least expected, and the opportunities will lead you to upliftment in your education and onwards.
Amazing. So, you know, in closing, what's the dream for you, Lakeisha?
My dream is to become a pharmacist or an architect.
An architect. All right, amazing. Well, I am sure with your, you know, sort of spirit and vibrancy, you'll go very far. I'm looking out for your name. I definitely am. And you know, for teachers, how important is it having teachers like your teachers that are inside of you? How important is it for you to have them? Lakeisha, how important is it for you to have these two teachers as your guiding lights?
Well, it's been been very good having these teachers, because they mentor very well.
Wow.
And they take their time out to help you in whatever situation you're going through.
Wow, amazing. Well, thank you. So, you know, I'm going to bring it back to the both of you. You know, Mrs. Jackson and Mrs. Ellington, I'm going to bring it back to the both of you, because literally we've got like about a minute or so to go. What final words would you give? We've heard it from both sides of the fence. You know, the picture is very clear as to, you know, literally the golden opportunity that we have here in the schools here. There is a sense of entitlement. I think that's quite clear. Not to say that our teachers aren't overworked. Yes, they definitely are. But really, in comparison, they have it good. What's your final words?
They have it. I would say they're in a good stead in the UK compared to Jamaica. But what I would like to say is to extend thanks, because at the end of the day, it is not all lost. When we have persons like Jet UK who are looking out, though it's a small organization, but I know they're extending their hands all across Jamaica. And for my school, I want to extend thanks to Digicel Foundation that is now refurbishing our science lab.
Amazing.
And so we're asking that other cooperative companies will come on board for the purpose of education, for the future of Jamaica. And one of the things too, I must say thanks to head teacher Mrs. Jackie Bowers Broadbent of the Buxton School. That's the one we visited. Excellent person.
Wow.
Excellent staff she has, and the building, the atmosphere that we saw there is one which we would love to be a part of. When I look at the space that she has, not even the resources, you know, just the classroom space.
Wow, the simple things, the simplicities. Wow.
I would be happy for that. All my labs have to be used as classrooms.
Wow.
And so I just want to say thanks for the opportunity to be in London and to be experiencing the weather in London. As much as I miss the sun, but exposure is a good thing, and it allows us to appreciate. And we're speaking about science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. A simple thing as the sunshine, the glorious sunshine. Just being here for a few days and not having the sunshine tells me how much I am to appreciate it. And so I want to say thanks to you too.
Oh, thank
Star
you.
Radio for having us on air. It is our pleasure. First time being on air.
You're
and
most welcome.
I'm most gracious.
You're most welcome. And you know, our program editor, I'm telling you, Mr. Frank David, I don't know how he copes with me. Because you know, I take this studio upside
but you're
down.
passionate. You're passionate about what you do, and that's what we do as teachers.
Wonderful. Absolutely. Now over to you for the final word.
Okay, thank you, Simone. Thank you to Starr Radio. Thank you to Jet UK for making this opportunity available to me. And the experience has been wonderful. I want to join my colleague in extending our thanks and gratitude to Buxton School and the head teacher and the senior team. Yesterday is priceless to me. The experience is one that will last, and whatever I've learned, I will take it back. Nothing is far from what we're doing in Jamaica, just that they have so much resource, and the things that we would dream of doing, to see it in practice has been a wonderful experience.
Amazing.
My last words would be to say that the task of educating any nation can become overwhelming when you're in a third world and you're without the resources. But when we see what happens in other places, we realize that it just takes, as you said earlier, a village to raise a child. And what I think it takes in the world scale, because Starr Radio is international, is an entire world to raise children across the world. And
so a global village.
Global village. I prefer to see us as a global village. Thank you so very much, Simone, for that. Rather than just a small nation trying to solve its individual problems of education. I want to extend thanks to even the Ministry. The Ministry of Education has tried its best. It has granted to us close to $3 million to do some repairs at our school, but it does not mean that we still do not have needs. One of the needs dear to my heart is those of the same special needs students that I mentioned before. And before I come off the air, I want to say that we really need to have a special needs center in Balaclava. Special needs that actually caters to the one-on-one, because too many of those children are falling below the cracks, and they become, their hands become hands for the gunman to put the gun in. Their hands become hands for those people who are criminals that we call scammers to use. Now, if they are computer literate enough to do scamming, it tells you that if we can meet them at the primary level, put a special needs center in place, then we can make that difference. And I want to say that every year the number of special needs students that come to us at Balaclava Primary increases. And myself as administrator and my team were frustrated because we really don't get to do one-on-one. We really don't have the resource center. And our dream, which is what I'm bringing to UK, is for persons to support Jet UK and to support us in having a special needs center put in the Balaclava community, which would meet the needs of those special needs students and their parents. Because if the parents don't know how to deal with them, whatever you do in school is going to be wiped out.
So it's a family dynamic.
It's a family dynamics and a global dynamic. So please support Jet UK. They're supporting under-resourced teachers and under-resourced schools in Jamaica. And support us because we need it.
Okay. I think that's a plight that no one can literally ignore. We've heard it from the teachers, we've heard it from the students, and I personally am going to give you my personal pledge that I, for one, I am definitely going to call on as many sponsors as possible. Please. I'm talking all these big companies out there. You know, we all have what's called a corporate social responsibility. And I'm calling on everyone to exercise their CSR, their corporate social responsibility, and just do what is a very basic requirement for each child, because every child in Jamaica, not only in Jamaica, in the whole global remit, yes, of the human race, deserves the basic provisions to give them all a fighting chance. I love the idea of keeping the hands of these gunmen off our children, and the best way to do that is through education. You've heard it here on the CEO. We're looking for people to make a pledge tonight, okay, to help youngsters such as Lakeisha Taylor, to help youngsters such as the unsung children of Jamaica, who otherwise, had it not been for these teachers, would not have a voice. Join me next week. Simone Frazier on the CEO.
A natural beauty, no need no makeup to be a cutie. She's a queen, she's a queen. And when they ask what a good woman's made of, she's not afraid and ashamed of who she is. She's royal, yeah, so royal. And I need her in my life. I never knew anyone so one of a kind until the night that I seen her rise. My queen, so supreme. I can see it in her eyes, the way she smiles. Hey, yes I know the king and queen crown. See, I'm tired, so I'd never leave your side. Just stick with me through the trial times. Oh, and she says she no mind. Alright, I know good man is hard to find, and she can't about that giant line. That's why she has no ties at this time. Yeah, I know many men are trying, but she needs to be more than wine and dine, because she's royal, yeah, so royal. And I want her in my life. I never knew anyone so divine. The way she moves to her own beat, she has the qualities of a queen, so supreme. Ooh, ooh, what a natural beauty. No need no makeup to be a cutie. She's a queen, so supreme, yeah. And when they ask what a good woman's made of, she's not afraid and ashamed of who she is. She's royal, yeah.
Thanks for
so
listening.
royal. And I want her in my life. I never knew anyone so one of a kind.
Thanks for listening.
No, the way she moves to her own beat, she has the shy. Until I seen her eyes, still I had to try, yeah. Oh yes, let me get my words right and then approach her. Woman, I'll treat you like a man is supposed to. You'll never have to cry, no. I know everyone can relate to when they find a special someone. And she's royal, yeah, so royal. And I want her in my life. I never knew anyone so one of a kind, no. The way she moves to her own beat, she has the qualities of a queen. She's a queen. Ooh, ooh, what a natural beauty. No need no makeup to be a cutie. She's a queen. She's a queen. And when they ask what a good woman's made of, she's not afraid and ashamed of who she is. She's royal, yeah, so royal. And I need her in my life. I never until the night that I see you rise. My queen, so supreme. I can see it in her eyes, the way she smiles. Hey, yes, I know the king and queen crown, see I'm tired, so I'd never leave your side. Just stick with me through the trial times. Oh, and she says she no mind. Alright, I know good man is hard to find, and she can't about that giant line. That's why she has no ties at this time. Yeah, I know many men are trying, but she needs to be more than wine and dine, because she's royal, yeah, so royal, and I want her in my life. I never knew anyone so divine. The way she moves to her own beat, she has the qualities of a queen, so supreme. Ooh, ooh, what a natural beauty. No need no makeup to be a cutie. She's a queen, so supreme, yeah. And when they ask what a good woman's made of, she's not afraid and ashamed of who she is. She's royal, yeah, so royal, and I want her in my life. I never knew anyone so one of a kind. No, no, the way she moves to her own beat, she has the qualities of a queen, my Nubian queen. Ooh, ooh, hey, we got it going on.
Online, on mobile, soon on DAB. This is Starr Radio UK, the leading Afro-Caribbean radio station in London.
If you've had an accident in the last 3 years, that was not your fault. Get in touch with London Accident Claims Limited. It could be a motor accident or a workplace injury. You could be entitled to compensation. Just one call to our specialist team will take care of everything. For minicab drivers with PCOs, there is even better news. We provide you with a replacement vehicle. Call us on 0800-032-6798 or 0208-665-7667 to start your claims with London Accident Claims Limited. London Accident Claims Limited, a partner you can trust.
The best mix of music is right here.
You've reached it. If you know your party's extension, dial it now. Otherwise, for bookings, press.
Broadcasting worldwide, online 24/7.